Hello and welcome to another Wraggy's beer review. So, as part of the Wraggy's beer review channel, 5th birthday celebrations leading up to Friday, I thought I'd do a battle of the Greene Kings. Abbot Ale, recently at the Great British Beer Festival, was judged by the people at Camra to be the second best beer basically in the country now. Obviously, those people judging obviously know what they're doing, so we'll leave it at that. So, but I thought to myself, second best beer in the country according to Great British Beer Festival, or SEBA, I'm not sure who actually does it. Didn't really take much notice, but being honest. And then we've got Abbot Reserve, which is the slightly older, more powerful brother, shall we say. So I'm going to crack one open, do a bit of a review, and then crack the other one open, and then put beer versus beer, and we'll see. Blind tasting, which is best. Blind tasting. So, and yeah, go from there. So I'll move this one out of the way for now because I don't want to knock it on the floor or anything daft. So Abbot Ale. So Abbot Ale is 5%. Literally, you can find this at all the Greene King pubs on cask. Brewed in the heart of Bury St Edmunds, where brewing in the town's great abbey can be traced back to 1086. This irresistible ale has masses of fruitcake characters and malty richness and a superb hop balance, brewed longer for a distinctive full flavour. 5% ABV on this. There's the tin out there. And a little bit of smoke just at the top of the bottle there. Right. So, I have had this recently on cask. For the point of this video, I'll hold my judgments and just talk about these two bottles. So, as we can see, good carbonation on there. Golden to amber pour, depending on the colour, depending on the light as well. Near enough an inch of head, 2 finger head. Subtle in the background, like fruitcake aromas in the background. Right, let's cheers. Gotta be honest, on my journey into the world of beer, this is one of the beers at the forefront. It's going to be interesting to see how it battles against its brother. Yeah, I do get the fruitcake. Some things I'm not sure of in the taste. Does it taste like the cask version? It's not far off, you know. It's not far off at all on the balance of things. It's going to be very interesting up against Greene King. Abbot Ale, Abbot Reserve rather. It's an easy drinking ale. It's quaffable. It's at all the Greene King pubs. So that means it's going to sell well because it's one of the beers that you always see. I mean, for me, whenever I go to a Greene King pub something to eat, I generally see Abbot or Old Speckled and then Greene King IPA. I do wish Greene King would put their mild on. They've got the most fantastic mild and you never ever see it on cask. Other than that, I only really go to the pubs for the food, really, which is, you know, it is what it is on that side of things. So I'm going to put this out the way and grab the Abbot Reserve. So Abbot Reserve, 6.5%. Get the magnifying glass. Strong and bodied, bold, full-bodied ale. Aroma, ripe fruit and fruit cake. So very similar aroma, really. Taste, full-bodied fruit cake and toffee character. From the master brewers of Abbot Ale comes this super premium beer, Abbot Reserve, brewed in limited quantities. Yeah, or in Tesco's all around the country. It does make me chuckle, this limited quantities thing. Anyway, let's go. This is an exceptional treat for that special occasion. Abbot Reserve is a distinctive, full-bodied, smooth and mature beer, bursting with rich fruit cake and toffee flavours. So, if Abbot is the second best beer in the country, according to Great British Beer Festival and their Camra judges, then we'll see how this plays against it. Beer versus beer. Colour wise, I mean, I haven't put them together. Colour wise, not far off the same, really. Like a light amber, centimetre of head on this rather than a 2-finger head. But don't take that into consideration. Sometimes just have my crap pouring. I'll be honest, on the nose, subtle nose again. Can smell that fruitcake stuff going off, but it is a subtle nose on this. Interesting. I always thought it was a bit more pronounced. A bit more in the taste department. Yeah. I will, for the purpose of blind tasting, which the good people at the Great British Beer Festival blind tasted their beers. And we'll see which one wins. I'll go through them first, do the standard beer versus beer that I do on this channel, which is aroma, looks and everything else, and then we'll do some blind tasting. Although I'll know which is which, because I mean the end I'm doing it out of, but I want to do this blind tasting, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So I do think that was an exceptional beer. On a 4 for £6.50 deal, which I ignited yesterday, especially in Tesco's at the moment, when beers are £2.30, £2.50 for one, and 4 for £6.50. You know, you're going to buy 2 beers, £5.20. It's a no-brainer to pay and get the other 2 and get £6.50. It's a no-brainer. It's going to be very interesting for the future of beers, supermarket beers, that is, and craft beers going into supermarkets. It's going to be very interesting, coming soon, until we get rid of this government. But then, will another government change it? Nah, I don't think so. They want us all drinking less. Drinking in moderation, I don't think is a bad thing. If you're drinking 20 pints a night, then wow, how can you afford it for one? Because I couldn't. Hence why I do homebrew as well as beer reviews, because homebrew, there's always something to fall back on. If I fancy a beer, I'm not drinking something I've paid £3 a can for. I need a bigger doodah to put my beers on. So we'll pour the Abbot Ale out. There you go. So it all depends on the pour. You do like me. But I went to a cider tasting club, and do you know this pouring from the height? it accentuates the flavour. So yes, you would call that a crap pour. Some people would call it a knobhead pour. To apologise for profanities. Well, yeah. But it's supposed to bring out the flavour. So we'll do the same with both for the sake of being, you know, right. And you can see that by pouring crap, there's the same amount left in each bottle. So literally we poured it seconds apart. So this is Abbot Reserve. This is Abbot. I'm going to give them the same amount of time now to just dissipate a bit the head. I don't want to be drinking froth. So on the looks wise, as we can see, Abbot in this end, slightly less, the colour is slightly lighter than the Abbot Reserve. Carbonation, around about the same, to be fair. The head is exactly the same colour. Well, in front of my eyes it is, apart from the fact one's a lot bigger. So looks wise, yeah, one's slightly darker, one's slightly lighter. Yeah, there's nothing in it, so that draws a blank. Aroma wise, now this is the more interesting sector. Again, on both you can taste you can smell the fruitcake aromas. Slightly more refined on this one. Slightly more punchy on that one. With some, I don't know. There's a part of the aroma that I'm not sure of what it is, but it's not as nice smelling as that, if that makes sense. Please try this at home. Tesco's are selling these 4 for £6.50 deal. Get yourself 2 of these, get yourself 2 decent other beers. You know, use these offers while you can, and do what Wraggy's beer reviews do. Pour it out, see how you think, see what judgments you come to. This is where beer versus beer is really interesting. It's an affordable beer versus beer as well. I'm not talking about somebody who's buying two £10 Imperial Stouts or something, because 20 quid's worth of beer, it's a lot of money in these days. And well, for them with money, then without money, it's not as. So obviously that's dissipating quite nicely. That's getting there. I'll wait till they've both dissipated a bit more. Yeah, the aroma on it's a much nicer aroma on the Reserve than it is the Abbot. And these are the things you'll get when you do beer versus beer. Let me tell you now, this is what you get on a beer versus beer sort of video of mine. You'll get this. So the winner on aroma, on the looks, it was pretty much the same. They are crystal clear. You know, it is a big brewery. They know what they're doing. On aroma, Abbot Reserve wins. Taste wise, okay. Time to go blind. Yeah, certainly getting that fruitcake. Toffee. Oh yeah. It's amazing. When you shut your bloody eyes, do you get stuff that you don't get when you're not shutting your eyes? Okay, to the Abbot now. Obviously I know which beer is which, but I'm still blind tasting it, because being blind, I'm not influenced by anything. As long as I get it in my bloody mouth and not down my t-shirt. And regardless of what happened at the Great British Beer Festival, this is an absolutely straight down the middle review. You know, I'm not being, I'm not calling out any judges. I'm doing my own judging. I mean, it's tasting nice. To be honest, it tastes better out of a bottle than it does on cask. And that's my absolute honest opinion, which is strange because cask usually, you know, is king. All the pubs I'm going to, not great for their cask. That leaves, you know, something to be considered. Pubs differ. I've tasted beers, and I'll give you an example of this. Brand new pub opened up in Beeston in Nottingham. Tasted the beers at the pub. They tasted very, very different to how they normally taste. But the lines were brand new. The lines were brand new. Tasted the beers on bottle and on the cask in that particular pub. The beer was very different, and I don't know if the lines made a difference. It's very it was an eye opener to our new pub, and new lines can make a difference. Should it make a difference? I don't know. I'm not that. I wouldn't say I'm that much of an expert of beer going through brand new lines, and whether there's anything flavours you get off the lines, flavours that you know when the beer's been going through the lines, whether you know, it's interesting. I mean, I know they use cleaning agents on the lines to cleanse the lines, but does that make a difference? I don't know. It is interesting, and there's questions I have about the processes there, and I did bring all that up in a review. However, nobody from that particular brewery has decided to comment. So yeah, it's interesting, you know. I was being genuinely honest. The beer still tasted good. You know, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. The beer tasted good. It just tasted different. So why it tasted different, that is the interesting thing for me. And we all picked it up. 4 of us picked it up. The 4 people, no, 5 of us picked it up. Everybody at the table had a taste of that. I'm getting this. And I have absolute honest opinions from my friends. They don't mess about. You know, they only get what they get. They won't tell you anything different. They're not trying to appease anybody. They're not doing beer reviews and trying to be nice to a brewery or anything like that, or trying to be horrible to a brewery because they're trying to score points. And it's interesting. Anyway, slight tangent there. You know, it's a Wraggy's beer review. You're going to get tangents. So we're back on the case. Okay. Back to blind. There's a lovely refined the toffee, the fruitcake aroma, you know, taste. Yeah, it's a lovely beer. ABV, I'm not really feeling the ABV any stronger than what this is, you know, blind. So, right, to this one, to the Abbot. I've finished both. There is more flavour in this, without a shadow of a doubt. However, in bottle, Abbot Ale is still is a cracking beer. You know, if I'm being honest, and I will be honest, why not? That is better than a lot of the cask beers that I've had recently at certain pubs that have done Abbot Ale. And but in bottle, it's still a nice beer. Gotta be honest. I will hold my feelings back about what happened at the Great British Beer Festival. They obviously, you know, it's their opinion. Abbot Reserve. Now, out of the two of them, the winner, there was more flavour in this. I've got to be honest. That's still a nice pint. Abbot Ale is still a decent pint. You know, in this setting, at this moment in time, still a decent pint. Still a decent beer. But Abbot Reserve rather, is the winner for me. So, yeah. For me, get both beers, try them out, see what you think. You know, you may agree, you may disagree, but you've got to do the both at the same time to understand the flavours, where I'm coming from. But yeah, Abbot Reserve. Wow. These two, 4 for £6.50. You can't fault it, you know. And that's it for this Beer versus Beer. Thank you for watching. See you soon.